Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Have you ever wondered why some speeches or texts move you, make you think, or even change your mind? Welcome to an exploration of persuasive writing and rhetoric, the art of crafting words that can sway an audience to your viewpoint. It's an essential skill, whether you're penning an essay, delivering a speech, or simply trying to convince a friend to see things your way. At the heart of this art are the principles of ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos appeals to credibility, pathos to emotion, and logos to logic. These are the building blocks of persuasion, the tools that can turn a simple statement into a compelling argument. They are the foundation upon which the most powerful speeches and texts have been built. In the next few minutes, you will discover the secrets behind the most powerful speeches and texts ever written. So, let's delve into this fascinating world and unlock the power of persuasion. Rhetoric, the art of persuasion, is a skill as old as language itself. It's the secret sauce that makes a piece of writing or a speech compelling, convincing, and memorable. So what's the recipe? Well, it's a blend of 3 key ingredients: ethos, pathos, and logos. Let's start with ethos, which is all about credibility. When you're trying to persuade someone, it's crucial that they trust you. You build this trust by demonstrating your expertise, your integrity, and your understanding of the audience's values. Think about Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech. His ethos was rooted in his experiences as a civil rights leader, his moral character, and his shared dream for equal rights. Next up is pathos, the emotional appeal. This is where you tap into the audience's feelings to sway them. A stirring example of pathos is found in Winston Churchill's "We Shall Fight on the Beaches" speech. He evoked a sense of national pride and resilience, stirring up emotions to inspire the British people during World War II. Lastly, we have logos, the appeal to logic. This involves presenting clear, rational arguments supported by evidence. Consider the Declaration of Independence. It meticulously lays out the colonists' grievances against King George III, making a logical case for why they should be free. But here's the kicker. Ethos, pathos, and logos aren't meant to be used in isolation. They're like a 3-part harmony in a song. Each part is beautiful on its own, but when they're sung together, they create something truly powerful. Take Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. It's a masterclass in rhetoric, blending ethos, pathos, and logos to create a compelling argument. Lincoln's credibility as president, ethos, his emotional appeal to the sacrifices made by the soldiers, pathos, and his logical argument for the preservation of the Union, logos, all work together to make his speech unforgettable. As you can see, ethos, pathos, and logos are not standalone elements, but rather a trio that harmoniously works together. By understanding and harnessing these principles, you can elevate your persuasive writing to new heights. And that, folks, is the art of rhetoric. Beyond the principles of rhetoric, 3 other elements play a significant role in persuasive writing: tone, style, and audience awareness. Diving into the first element, tone, it's the underlying attitude that you portray in your writing. It's like the music that sets the mood in a movie scene. Let's consider Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech. His tone was hopeful and resolute, which resonated with his listeners and amplified the impact of his words. Next, we have style. This refers to the unique way in which you express your thoughts. It's your linguistic fingerprint. Take, for example, Winston Churchill's "We Shall Fight on the Beaches" speech. Churchill's style was forceful, yet poetic, with rhythm and repetition that made his words unforgettable. Finally, there's audience awareness. It's about understanding your readers and what they value, fear, or desire. In John F. Kennedy's inaugural address, he famously said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Kennedy knew his audience were patriotic Americans, and he appealed to their sense of civic duty. So, how do these elements contribute to the effectiveness of a persuasive argument? Well, tone sets the emotional climate, making readers more receptive to your ideas. Style, on the other hand, makes your writing memorable and engaging. It's the spice that brings flavor to your words. And audience awareness, it's the compass that guides your argument. It ensures your message hits home by aligning with your readers' beliefs and values. Remember, persuasive writing isn't just about logic and reasoning. It's also about connecting with your readers on an emotional level. And that's where tone, style, and audience awareness come into play. They help you create a bond with your readers, making your argument more compelling and impactful. Understanding your audience and adjusting your tone and style accordingly can be the difference between a persuasive text and one that falls flat. Now that you understand the elements of persuasive writing, it's time to put that knowledge into practice. Let's begin with the first phase, brainstorming. This is when you gather your thoughts and ideas and decide on your stance. Ask yourself, what is the issue at hand? What is my position on this issue? What are the strongest arguments to support my position? Don't rush this phase, as a well-thought argument is the backbone of persuasive writing. Next, we move on to drafting your argument. Start by stating your position clearly. This is your thesis statement, the heart of your argument. Follow this with your supporting points, which should be based on ethos, pathos, or logos. Remember to back up your points with solid evidence, facts for logos, personal stories for pathos, and credible sources for ethos. And don't forget to address counter-arguments. By acknowledging and refuting opposing views, you strengthen your own argument. Now comes the revision phase. Here, you fine-tune your argument, making sure your points are clear and compelling. Pay attention to your language. Use strong, persuasive words and phrases. Vary your sentence structure to keep your writing interesting. And always proofread for grammatical errors and typos. They can distract your reader and undermine your credibility. Let's put this into practice. Imagine you're arguing for the importance of environmental conservation. Brainstorm your points, draft your argument, and then revise. Remember to use ethos, pathos, and logos, and to address counter-arguments. Finally, do not be disheartened if your first few attempts are not as persuasive as you'd like. Like any skill, persuasive writing takes practice, so keep honing your argument, keep refining your points, and keep polishing your language. Remember, practice is key in mastering the art of persuasive writing and rhetoric. We've covered a lot in this video, from the principles of rhetoric to the importance of tone, style, and audience awareness. We delved into the realms of ethos, pathos, and logos, and how these principles equip us to craft compelling arguments. We analyzed famous speeches, dissecting the elements that make them impactful. We also explored the crucial role that tone and style play in persuasive writing. Remember, your voice in writing is your most powerful tool. We discussed the importance of being aware of your audience, tailoring your message to resonate with them. We then moved on to the practical side of things, guiding you through crafting your own persuasive text. Whether it's an essay, an article, or a speech, these techniques can be applied to enhance your ability to influence and engage your audience. Keep practicing, keep refining, and keep pushing your limits. With these techniques in your writing arsenal, you are well on your way to becoming a master of persuasion.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level C1. Persuasive writing. Persuasive writing, the form of writing where the writer uses words to convince the reader of their viewpoint concerning an issue or topic. Example: persuasive writing is crucial in legal arguments, editorials, and advertising. Call to action. Call to action, an instruction to the audience designed to provoke an immediate response, typically using an imperative verb such as call now, find out more, or visit a store today. Example: a persuasive essay about conservation might end with a call to action, urging readers to take specific steps to help protect the environment. Argumentative. Argumentative, relating to or characterized by the expression of an argument or reasoning. Example: argumentative essays require clear, logical reasoning and supporting evidence to be effective. Rhetorical strategies. Rhetorical strategies, techniques used by writers and speakers to persuade, inform, or entertain an audience. Example: common rhetorical strategies include pathos, logos, and ethos. Pathos. Pathos, a method of convincing people with an argument drawn out through an emotional response. Example: advertisements often use pathos by invoking strong emotional responses to persuade customers to buy products. Logos. Logos, a rhetorical device that appeals to logic and reason. Example: scientific arguments rely heavily on logos to provide evidence and statistics to support claims. Ethos. Ethos, a rhetorical device that involves the credibility or ethical appeal of the writer or speaker. Example, to strengthen their ethos, writers often mention their qualifications or experiences related to the topic they are discussing.